What's going on, everybody? This is Waning Moonlight, and today we will be beating Dark Souls 2 using the puzzling straight sword. If you've never heard of this weapon, I won't get out. It is super cool. It is a sword that when you swing with it with the heavy swing, it turns into a whip. And when you two-hand it, it does this fun little dance, which has some pretty good range all around you, actually. Now, I'm a little out of practice playing this game. I've been grinding out Night Rain, which, if you haven't played it so far, I do recommend it. I've made a few videos talking about the gameplay, bosses, in general thoughts. So, of course, check those out if you want to hear what I have to say on it in length, but in general, good game. It's pretty cool. But all that being said, with me being a little out of practice, I didn't know how this run was going to go. Maybe I'll first try some bosses, still, having that reflex in me. But I kind of was ready to lose a little bit. I'm still hitting down on the joystick to try and sprint burst. I'm trying to do like I one time I did try to do like the Elden Ring two hand, where you got to hold like the A and R. It's just a whole few things that happened. But anyways, down here we're heading to go fight everyone's personal favorite friend, the good old-fashioned Dragon Rider. Now, is he necessary to beat? No. I mean, we just need 2 million souls. We can get them from farming the Rotten, but I like to go out and just see the world. This game, it may not be Ultra HD, but has some cool-looking areas. The sun is shining, the water's glistening. It's nice to just push him into the water and watch as he drowns. I realize that actually sounds a lot worse than I meant it. Take that back. But anyways, I'm sure we got it right here. We walk in, we count out 7 steps, and then we do a roll to the side and panic. I mean panic. Who would panic? No, I know what I'm doing. I'm professional. We dodge roll, bait out an attack, and boom. First try. Nailed it. Okay. Now, to actually give our first run at a boss, we're going to be challenging the Pursuer over here. Now, I will notice a small problem I will have with this sword, not very often, but the hit box on it. Now, it swings perfectly fine, and the hitbox most of the time will be in my favor, but sometimes it will do stuff like that, like hit something I don't mean it to. Like right there, I aggroed 2 enemies, and having them both on me actually led to me being distracted and dying. This is what I kind of meant about warming up. But it's fine. 2 failures on 2 easy bosses, that can happen when it's been like a month. But you know what? We got the last giant right here. Easy. Tutorial boss. We're doing all right damage. We're dancing around his feet, and we will be hit several times, but we have enough life gems to tank it all. I hope we have enough life gems to tank it all. Now, I'm just kidding. Of course we do. It's an easy boss. We take him down after just 2 minutes of dancing. And with that out of the way, I tried to pursue her again. It did not go my way. And that's when I remembered, the pursuer has some things in his arena to help you out. How hard can they be? I've never hit these before, but okay, that didn't work. All right, this one's kind of angled this way. Maybe if I stand here and run at it, and nope. Okay. Does anyone know the positioning for the ballistas? Like I said, I've hit it maybe like twice ever. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. But I actually, instead of using the ballistas, just locked it in. And apparently that worked quite well. I broke his stance and then broke his spine. And then boom. First 3 bosses done. Souls not really necessary for leveling up, but instead for the shop. We need life gems, the key, bright bugs, and the fragrant branch of yore. And with that, we're able to drop down into the pit and go challenge the rats. They are not necessary to fight. However, I just thought it'd be really funny to spin on them all. And it was funny. But I got some good enjoyment from doing this, honestly. Until I almost died to them. That was a bit of a close call. Had another semi-close call, but yeah, we locked it in. We're good. We're cooling. And with them out, we're able to go challenge the Rotten. Now, the last challenge run I did on this character, I did not grind out on the Rotten. So even though we are on New Game Plus, by the way, if you couldn't tell with all the rings we have, he is not on too high of a new game cycle, which means he will be easy to do. But that's still why we brought all those bright bugs, because the later cycles will get more challenging. So obviously, having a little bit more defense and damage will definitely be helpful. First attempt, honestly, nothing really to note. Barely got hit. Did a good few dances. He personally wasn't a big fan of my moves. He kept trying to like punch me, which is so not cool. Even tried to curse me some dark magic. Like, come on, man. Second one, just fine. The third one had my favorite finisher. Neck and neck. I hit him right as he goes for a grab. Barely beat him to the punch. But I'm not gonna bore you with every attempt. After like an hour fighting the Rotten, we had just enough souls to pump us all the way up to 2 million. And that means, of course, we can head on to the Shrine of Winter. Which nothing really interesting happened. I did like fighting these guys though, because again, I could hit them all at once. And that's just fun. That's fun to look at. Destruction everywhere. Now, I'm going to take this moment to ask if you could subscribe. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of August. And when August rolls around, it's my birthday. So I'm going to be doing a 7x7, 7 challenge runs in 7 days or a week. And they're all going to be on the same character, which will get them up to New Game Plus 6, which is the highest difficulty. So, I think that's going to be kind of fun. Subscribe if you want to see it. And, hey, if you are here and then watch that video, comment down below on when I make that video. And that'll be cool. But anyways, here we are at the Dragon Riders. This duo will probably not be too difficult, Now, I had learned that this weapon can be buffed. Sometimes some special weapons can't be buffed, but surprisingly, this one could. I'll take it. However, this was not my best attempt at fighting the Dragon Riders. We do decent damage. However, obviously having a sniper was kind of annoying. But then I tried to spread out the aggro, and then I was kind of mistiming my spacing. Not gonna lie, not my proudest moment. But the Dragon Riders did get me my first try. Second attempt, though, I came in with a plan. And a man with a plan typically ends up winning. I targeted down Big Blue, having knocked him down early, and then with him out of the way, it's just me and Big Red. And Big Red ain't got the skills on his own. He couldn't beat me in this dance battle. So he goes down, and I keep on living. With him out of the way, it's of course time for Looking Glass Night, and little nervous for this one, solely because he can summon people. Now, I don't know how these summons, if they're going to be stun locked by the sword or not. That's always been my big worry. If they don't get stun locked, especially, because they carry great shields and stuff, I could be screwed. And my sword, again with its hitbox, it will bounce off the Looking Glass's shield. So I do need to angle myself correctly when swinging at him. It actually wasn't that big of a deal. Except for the fact, that he was still able to summon someone. And when he summoned them, he just gave me some horrendous back shots and I died. I also learned apparently I can one-hand it and still do the special move. So that's pretty cool. But it's not the dance, so I try not to do it that often. I'm not going to count it as against the run rule, because it's still doing the unsheathing of the sword. And it was actually kind of helpful because it gave me more range. So I can, well, it gave me range and it went straight forward. So it's helpful for not bouncing on his shield. But most of the time, we're going to be dancing here. Now, the Shrine of Amana, this was a big test. See how this sword does when dealing with the groups of these guys. How many swings can it stun lock would all be important. And luckily enough, it may not be one stamina cycle, but I can take them all out pretty easily. So I wouldn't have to worry about the Shrine of Amana. Just had to dance on through it. Then we get to the Demon of Song. I tried to ask if he could put on a good beat for me to dance to. It was alright at best. I mean, you know, he's only whistling a tune. Only so much you can do. Now, I've kind of memorized like what the animation looks like for him about to open, so I'm actually able to get a free hit before, you know, he can do his main attack. And luckily, he actually had some of the like quick movement in the beginning, so I was able to break him down easily. Near the end, he gave me a little bit of trouble. I didn't even know like he had a tail slap move. Learning all sorts of things this run. But with him out of the way, I was able to dance through these graves, and I just realized I was desecrating a graveyard. Well, I'm sure they enjoyed the moves at least. Here, we got Bellestat, and honestly, I wasn't too worried walking in. I've done him close to hitless before. I beat him with the Dragon Headstone doing 9 damage a pop. Watch my last Dark Souls 2 video if you want to see that torture. It took 40 minutes. With all that being said, I could tell this won't be too bad. Using an actual weapon doing actual damage, yeah, it's fine. Dodge roll in, dodge roll out, spin around, which I like his weapon because it kind of moves him around as he swings, and so do I. So it kind of feels like we're doing the same kind of dance around each other as we go. But I whittled him down quite quickly. He goes into a second phase, and it's a decent damage drop off. But in phase 2, he does a move I had never seen before. It's crazy it might seem. I've seen him swing once, swing twice. I've never seen that thrust before. I was actually like, what? I was so confused. Slightly mad. Whatever. He goes down second try. It's fine. It's whatever. I'm going to go take his king ring. Lucky I don't fight that man there too. With that there, we're able to go and fight the Throne Watcher and Defender. Some of you may question, these guys now? Don't you do them before Nishandra? And you can, but I like doing them early. Solely so I don't have to worry about them, because usually they're a roadblock for me. Or at least they used to be before I found out the power of the Great Shield. See, you stand here, and then you push him there, and she's gone. Poof. Which makes it a 1v1. And now, obviously, a 1v1 is so much easier than a 1v2. Maybe a cheese, may not be. But I didn't break any rule. I only attacked using my puzzling straightsword. So, there goes him. And, okay. That aside, it's time to head over to Aldia's Keep, because it is the dragon time. I'm sure it couldn't be too bad. I mean, we got a lightning sword, and I did kind of want to see if I could get a headshot with it. I don't think I did. You know, obviously a headshot would have done a whole lot more damage. Not much to say about the fight. There was this one funny moment. I don't know what to say other than it's a Dark Souls 2 moment right there. But either way, he jumps away a lot. He tried to run away, but I killed him technically mid-air. I think that's the lowest to the ground mid-air death animation I've ever seen. But then we're able to get the Ashen Mist Heart and go into the memory of Jay. And here, I had a really funny idea. Or at least, to me, it was funny to think about doing this. So we buff up our sword, wait for the smoke to clear, We run up here. We stand on the ledge and we attack him from a distance. I know it's the cheese strategy if you use like magic or bows, but it didn't always work because of the range. Now here I got distracted. I was watching a YouTube video because I play this game, Fire Emblem Heroes, and I got a unit. Was trying to see if they were good or bad, and I got reading something and I died. So that was great. Second attempt, video was over, so was able to lock it in and take him down. And of course, with Big Man down on the ground, there's only one thing left to do. And that's go challenge Nashandra. This challenge run, all in all, was pretty easy. A good way back, of course, into the swing of things after being down for a little bit. If you've used this sword before, I'm sure like me, it's probably a new favorite weapon. Because honestly, it's just really cool to see some creative weapons in general. A lot of Elden Ring weapons are pretty straightforward. You got an axe, you got a sword. I mean, they got cool Ashes of War. But I feel like Dark Souls 1 and 2 had something going with the heavy attack does like a weapon transformation or a special skill. And then it would take extra durability to do. Be it the dragon weapons from Dark Souls 1, the Drake Sword, or the Dragon King Great Hammer, the Moonlight Great Sword with its laser beams. Was it a perfect system? No. But it was a unique system. And I wish they would bring it back, along with tail weapons. They were so cool to be able to cut something off and then get a special weapon for it. Elden Ring, Night Ring. Well, Night Ring did bring it back for some of the for the Dark Souls 1 bosses, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We're fighting a boss now. Final boss. Here, I didn't have too much of a plan, really. I knew the spin attack would take out the dark orbs, and obviously all I had to do was move around her. If I could, I tried to bait out her hand lasers, which I wasn't able to do too often. I did have a few close calls though. But either way, when I was able to get in when she did the hand lasers, I would just melt her. It was insane. It's insane, really, how quickly this weapon can attack. And then the weapon it does. It's doing great sword damage. 400 a pop. I know I got a bright bug and lightning resin on, but that still doesn't explain why it's doing so much. But eventually, just have to wait out a lot of it. She did a lot of her AoE moves, which honestly got a little annoyed by. I don't know why she would go for it so often. But as we're about to wrap things up, I would also like to take this moment again to remind everybody to subscribe if you had enjoyed the video. If you did, as well, leave a like, comment, let me know down below. And again, if you have any challenge run ideas, I'm always looking for more. I'm welcome to some ideas. And if I end up doing them, I'll leave a comment letting you know I'm doing it. So thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next one.